Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is Tuesday, the 28th of November. It's the end of the year almost. And tonight we have a special presentation on viruses. Again, thank
Yes.
you for being with us. And Dawn's with us. We got a couple of our friends with us as well. And Dawn's going to read our FDA disclaimer because we do talk about natural products, and all natural products have to carry a disclaimer per the FDA.
We absolutely do. And thank you, David. It's exciting to be able to get this information out and spread awareness. That's what we are all about, spreading awareness. We are inviting everyone to take a look at our website. We will be working on that more and more as time goes on. Making articles or putting in articles and information on how you can feel better, and also a little bit of education on different things. And we'll be having interviews and different things to do with our environmental awareness program. So I'm going to go ahead and read the disclaimer, and it says these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This presentation is not intended to provide diagnosis, treatment, or medical advice. Products, services, information, and other content provided in this presentation, including information that may be provided in third-party websites and are provided for the informational purposes only. Please consult with a physician or your favorite healthcare practitioner. And David, with talking about this time of the season, we chose to talk about
Viruses.
Thank you. I was wondering if you were gonna say anything. Yes, we decided to talk about viruses, and I didn't go over this information with you, but there's a show called Afflicted on Netflix, and I was just floored with how many different types of bugs and viruses and parasites you can have. And a lot of them tend to hide. They are scaredy cats. They tend to hide. And so what we're going to talk about today can help us recover our health. So I'll let you get started.
All right. Yes, indeed, they do tend to hide. And some viruses, the SARS-2 virus in particular, has a tendency to revive some of the viruses that are hiding, in particular the Epstein-Barr virus. So there's some really good articles on that information. And on that point, we'll skip forward here. Glutathione and viruses and COVID-19. We've heard and seen a whole lot about viruses in the last 3 years. We're coming into cold and flu season, both of which are caused by viruses, right? So there's a lot of information, a lot of different viruses. Some of them are fairly symmetrical. Others are just kind of radically non-symmetrical. But there's a lot of different viruses. They cause a lot of different illnesses and symptoms, but they're all have very similar things in common. And what we're going to be talking about is what you see on the left side here, not antigens, antibodies to the antigen. So in the last 3 years, There have been about 200 articles written on glutathione and the COVID-19 virus specifically. Nothing at all before 2020, but 51 were published in 2020, another 77 last year, 85 so far this year, and somebody has pre-published one for next year on the relationship between glutathione and the COVID-19 virus. Now, glutathione, GSH, is a tripeptide. It's made up of 3 amino acids. It is our master antioxidant. And as that, it's a key component in redox physiology, which is a reduction oxidation process that fuels our bodies. It's also a key component in hormone production, energy production in our mitochondria, our immune function, which is a key component in our presentation tonight, and cellular proliferation, which is another key component. So glutathione production, what does it do? It helps control inflammation, helps prevent chronic illness. It elevates our natural killer cells, that's the T cells, up to 400%. It elevates their cytotoxicity, also helps to elevate lymphocyte proliferation so that the white blood cells can replicate up to 60% better. Also, it protects our cells, our healthy cells, against cellular damage, especially from reactive oxygen species, are those free radicals that we've heard of so much about. And it protects against tissue degeneration in a number of different ways. So here's a very interesting article, Endogenous Deficiency, and glutathione is an endogenous what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. It's an endogenous molecule. Our bodies actually make this. We don't have to eat it for us to get it. Our bodies make it, so it's endogenous. So endogenous deficiency of glutathione, the most likely cause of serious manifestations and death in COVID-19 patients. And this study, Dr. Polonikov's viewpoint was to justify the crucial roles of glutathione in determining individual responsiveness to COVID-19 infection and the disease pathogenesis, also the feasibility of using glutathione as a means of treatment and prevention of COVID-19 illness. Now, the COVID-19 is an illness. It's caused by the SARS-2 or the coronavirus SARS-2 virus. So COVID-19 is actually coronavirus-induced illness or disease. His hypothesis is that glutathione deficiency is the most plausible explanation. He went through a whole lot of the research that was done on glutathione and COVID-19 when he wrote this article, and says that this is the most plausible explanation for the serious manifestation and patient death in COVID-19. And he proposed this on the basis of this literature analysis and personal observations that he had in hospitals. And he unraveled what he calls the mysteries of epidemiological data on the risk factors determining the serious manifestations of COVID-19. So this was a very good article, very informative. Another one is this one, the role of glutathione in protecting against the severe inflammatory response triggered by COVID-19. And that's one of the really big things with COVID-19 is it causes really severe inflammation in most patients. And these doctors say a common denominator in all conditions associated with COVID-19 appears to be the impaired redox. That is, again, the reduction oxidation process the homeostasis, so there's less reduction and more oxidation in this, a lot of this disease process. So homeostasis evens that out, so there's as much redox or reduction as there is oxidation, and it keeps us from having so much cellular damage. Otherwise, the reactive oxygen species accumulate in our cells and cause a lot of damage. And he says levels of glutathione, which is our key antioxidant and the guardian of all of our tissues and all of our organs, especially the lungs and liver. And this causes a lot of inflammation when you don't have enough glutathione to cancel out all of these oxidative particles. It says the present review provides a biochemical investigation of the mechanisms leading to deadly inflammation in severe COVID-19 cases and the counterbalance of glutathione. He highlights the relevance of restoring the glutathione levels in the attempt to protect the most vulnerable patients, that is the elderly and those with comorbidities and the young, from severe symptoms of COVID-19. Now here's a paper on therapy that was tried. Nebulization, that is breathing in a mist of glutathione or N-acetylcysteine, which is also a cysteine donor, as a adjunctive therapy for COVID-19 onset. And again, noting it's a SARS-CoV-2 virus, infects the host after binding to the ACE2 receptors. And we've heard of ACE2 inhibitors in the drug advertisements. He says this appears to trigger a severe cytokine storm, especially in pulmonary structures, that is in the lungs, resulting in oxidative stress, exacerbated inflammation, and alveolar injury or cellular damage. Researchers, he notes, have begun to direct some attention toward glutathione and N-acetylcysteine. And he says many diseases appear to be strongly related to the severe oxidative stress and a consequent deficiency of glutathione, noting that interferes with the body's ability to detoxify itself and to maintain healthy immune response. Both glutathione and N-acetylcysteine are susceptible to degradation in the digestive tract, and we'll touch on that here in just a minute. He says that nebulization, that is breathing in the mist, as an adjunctive therapy may be a viable alternative to manage the early stages of COVID-19. And this was actually tried, and it does work. Another paper on the same line, glutathione supplementation as an adjunctive therapy in COVID-19. These doctors noted that morbidity and mortality in coronavirus disease, COVID-19, are due in large part to the severe cytokine storm, hypercoagulable state brought on by the dysregulation of the host's inflammatory immune response. So again, that hyperinflammation response. And this ultimately leads to multiple organ failure and, of course, death in severe cases of COVID-19. Noting that it's the exasperated oxidative stress that they believe is mainly driving this disease response. And this is all based on evidence attesting to the ability of glutathione to inhibit the replication of the viruses and to decrease the levels of IL-6 in HIV and tuberculosis patients. Also, glutathione has many beneficial effects in other pulmonary disease processes. He notes that they believe glutathione could be beneficial for COVID-19 patients and as used in an adjunctive treatment to current modalities. Now, what does that mean, adjunctive? So I pulled up Merriam-Webster's definitions. An adjunct is something joined to or added to something else, but not essentially part of it. So glutathione can be used as a added therapy. And note what the second definition under adjuvant, which is a connected adverb, enhancing the effectiveness of a medical treatment. So these doctors are noting that even though the treatments that other doctors are using might be somewhat effective, adding glutathione to that treatment can make it more effective. Again, here's our glutathione molecule, a tripeptide made of glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. And the magic happens right there in the middle where that yellow sulfur molecule is on the cysteine molecule. And are touching on the note of the one scientist who said that the glutathione and cysteine are broken down in the digestive system. According to examine.com, although critical, that is talking about glutathione, for a number of processes, it has limited use as a supplement because it is rapidly broke down in the digestive system. The metabolite L-cysteine can increase glutathione, but again, it's broken down easily by the digestive enzymes. They note that there is some absorption of glutathione intact from the intestines, but most of it is broken down. But it can't enter the cells intact. Therefore, the best way to get glutathione inside the cell where it needs to be to fight the virus and fight the inflammation is by taking glutathione precursors. That is what we saw before, the 3 amino acids that make up that molecule. And the most effective way to get those is by these products here. Immunocal, and as you noted right there on the front, glutathione precursor. It's a whey protein isolate with bonded cysteine. So it gets through the digestive tract into the bloodstream and then into the cells intact, where your cells can take this bonded cysteine, break it down, and use it to make glutathione, your master antioxidant. These products have been clinically proven to increase your intracellular levels of glutathione, help maintain your healthy immune system, and reduce your oxidative stress. There's over 45 years of research and over 400 scientific articles written by the originators of these products. And they've had over 80 patents issued worldwide on these. So they're very good for you. If you're interested in learning more, look below, hit the like and subscribe button so you get notified of all of our new videos coming out and our new information we'll be posting. Check out our website and the other information down below, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Whoa.
The video.
Don't leave us yet.
I'm not leaving yet. The link to this live Zoom call is down below, so you can come in and talk to us yourself every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central.
Yes, and we also want to say that we are a community of people, a small group right now in our I'm talking about David and myself, I'm Dawn, our community of friends and family that have come together to inform you about how amazing ImmunoCal is. And we are glad to help you every step of the way by offering these educational programs. And also, if you're interested in ordering, you can contact us and we can help walk you through that. You do need to know a distributor, and we are happy to be able to facilitate that for you. Please watch our upcoming videos, and please check out the information below, like and subscribe. And did I get everything this time, David?
I think we did.
All right. And we also, you can look for us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group as well called Toxicity Group. Can you spell that for them?
It's spelled down below, so you can find
Oh,
that
you
link
got that
there.
down there
It's
too. Great.
TALXICITY, Toxicity Zone, because we talk about toxicity. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us tonight, and we hope to have some new ones on with some new questions next week. You have a very wonderful evening, and we'll see you
You know
next
what?
Tuesday.
We got one more reminder before we go.
Go ahead, hon.
On Sunday, we also someone else gives a really lovely presentation, and this week is going to talk about gut issues.
Bones, I believe, actually.
Bones.
Is that right, Dr. J? Is that bones on this upcoming? You're muted.
No, he said gut digestive issues is what he said
Okay, digestive issues. Bones, I guess, was
last week.
Last week, the week I missed.
Yes, I have some notes if you need them. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, but I just we're still on the lesson, right? So when we get off the lesson, I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That would be great. Well, thanks everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you.